This channel is documenting the journey to make $1 million on YouTube. But speaking of making money, let's talk about not. Because YouTube just added in a huge plethora of policies now that are changing things for creators, making it harder to make money. Now, a lot of people are very frustrated by this, and understandably so. New opportunities to earn and changes to the YouTube Partner Program. We're gonna go down here. First off, when it comes to revenue and all this kind of stuff, we're now expanding Premium Lite to all countries where we offer YouTube Premium. This subscription offers uninterrupted, offline, and background viewing of most content, so creators can now earn money from these subscriptions. Whatever. They're starting out with probably the most positive. I'll put that in quotation marks. This isn't a bad thing, but they're starting out with that before they get to the real big issues. First thing, YouTube Shorts. This to me is kind of weird, right? Beginning February 1st, 2027. So this is in it's August right now. So that's like 6 months away. So half a year away. Creators who have 10 million qualified short views over the last 90 days will be eligible for ads and subscription revenue sharing on shorts. Channels below this threshold remain in the YouTube Partner Program and continue earning through long format content, with shorts revenue sharing automatically resuming once it crosses 10 million views again. I don't get that. That to me is kind of weird. Like when I go to my channel, this is the main one I post my shorts on. Most of you know I've done like video reviews of like, hey, here's how much money I made from YouTube Shorts last month. When I look at this, you can see here I've gained through my lifetime of this channel. Again, I don't post any shorts on this one. This is another one of my YouTube channels. I've gained about 500,000 views. So does that mean when it comes to this, that once February 1st hits next year, I now don't make any money off my shorts? Is it even worth it to post them? I might still say yes, but then that's also kind of annoying. Then this is kind of vague. So it says 10 million qualified views over the last 90 days. So does that mean every 90 days you have to hit 10 million or else you get dropped out of the shorts program? It almost makes it seem like there's now two different YouTube partner programs. You have the long format content and the shorts one. And this, at least to me, makes it seem like you have to constantly hit a threshold. Because the thing with the YouTube partner program, in case you didn't know, well, we'll talk about this in a second, you need to hit certain thresholds. But once you're in, you're in. Unless you get kicked out, unless you do something really bad or whatever, once you're in, it's kind of like once you're in the club, you're in the club. What this makes it seem like you can maybe get kicked out? I don't know. Or, again, maybe it's the way I'm reading this. I don't know, it's kind of vague. Once it crosses 10 million views again. So does that mean I have to get 10 million views lifetime? Not just in the past 90 days? I don't know. We'll see what happens on February 1st. Obviously, I will still continue to be posting shorts like I've talked about in a lot of videos. I now do one video on TikTok, take that same video, put it on Instagram, YouTube, and then Facebook, right? So I'm still going to be posting YouTube shorts, but I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen here. Like, do I have to hit 10 million views total to be brought back into the YouTube short partner program in a way? Or do I have to do this every 90 days? Every 90 days, I have to hit 10 million views. So if I get, like, say, 9 million views in 90 days, I get nothing. And I will say this too, 10 million views, that's a lot. like I said, this is my lifetime since I started posting shorts, which is really only the past year. So I guess, I don't know. But going down here though, to now the biggest one. The big one that a lot of people are really frustrated by. There's been a lot of videos already made about this. And that is this. Now, you need at least 1,000 subscribers. That's always been the case. Blah, 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 right? And either 8,000 qualified public watch hours in the last 12 months or 20 million qualified shorts views in the last 90 days. The shorts views, I'm not gonna lie, let's ignore this for now. But here's the big thing. Before, it used to be 4,000 public watch hours and 10 million qualified view shorts. So those requirements doubled. And I gotta be honest, I think this is really, really annoying for creators. So now, in case you don't know, I have multiple channels. I technically have 4 different YouTube channels. All of them are monetized. So the good thing is, they've said this here, that they're like, hey, if you're already in the YouTube partner program, anyway, you don't have to worry about it. If you're in the club, you're in the club kind of mentality. But if you're trying to become a YouTuber, and I have a lot of people on this channel trying to become a YouTuber. I've done a lot of videos about how to grow your following. I've done videos about how to make more money on YouTube, get more watch hours, blah, blah, blah. this is a good amount. I'm very in shock now. When I first heard about this, I saw this, I think it was on like Instagram, or was it on, I saw it somewhere quick, and I saw 8,000 public watch hours. I assumed they'd change it, because back in the day, it was 4,000 public watch hours in the last 12 months. Meaning that, like, if let's say you get 3,000 public watch hours in 12 months, and then let's say it goes to 13 to 14 months, you have to get more and more, right? So it has to be in the last 12 months. I assume they changed it to 8,000 lifetime. That's what I initially thought. I'm like, there's no way YouTube would make it 8,000, but still in the last 12 months. And yet here we are. Because even when I look at this channel, right? Let me go here. This is the past 28 days. You can see in the past 20 days, I've gotten about 3,500 watch hours, right? Also, I've been posting on this channel for a while. So it would take me 2 to 3 months, like say at this rate, to get to the YouTube Partner Program, just to kind of give you food for thought. But I think one tricky thing is getting watch hours can be really tricky. And maybe I'll do more videos about how to get more watch hours on YouTube. I think one of the best ways, if you want me to be honest, besides making good quality content, all that kind of stuff, is one, longer format content, and two, live streaming. I think live streaming might actually be one of the most, or maybe the most underrated way to get more watch hours. But anyway, definitely subjects for other videos. But this is crazy to me. You know what I mean? Like, you're seeing this, that they're saying, that here, they're trying to be like, well, to keep pace with the growth of YouTube and blah, blah, blah. This update won't impact creators already in the YouTube Partner Program. All of this is just crazy to me, because I then feel for a lot of creators, like, and again, and I'm going to be honest too, and I'm pretty sure this is the case, that because this is happening, because this is happening on February 1st, 2027, I do wonder, let's say you're, at 3,000 public watch hours, and then let's say you get to 3,500, you're like, okay, I have to get to 4,000 public watch hours before February 1st. If, let's say, it becomes February 1st, do you now, assuming the way YouTube's going to do this is you're now kind of racing the clock. Like, if you're trying to become a YouTuber and you have, let's say, again, 3,000 public watch hours, you now have 6 months to get those extra 1,000, because once it hits February 1st, you now have to get double the requirement. Crazy. And I got to be honest, I really feel for small creators. Granted, don't get me wrong, I definitely am one, right? I have multiple YouTube channels, but at the end of the day, I'm still a small creator compared to like the big ones, right? But if you're trying to just get monetized though and join the YouTube Partner Program, this is unfortunate. Now, I'm not saying this is right or wrong, but if, let's say, they said, hey, if you just created a new YouTube channel, if you just created a new one, or let's say you created a new one after February 1st, this is your requirement, I'd feel a bit different, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like you should be able to be grandfathered in. Meaning, if you have a YouTube channel and you've been trying to make it as a YouTuber, I think the requirement for you should be 4,000 public watch hours in the last 12 months and 1,000 subscribers. And let's say anybody who makes a new YouTube channel from scratch after February 1st, they have to do this double requirement. Not that it makes it right, but at least it's like, okay, they're saying like, hey, as long as you've been making content, we're going to grandfather you into the old requirements. But no, and this, like I said earlier, I think really does force creators to kind of race the clock. I guess in some ways it does kind of push you, I guess, to maybe make more content. I don't know. But I think there's definitely going to be a lot of creators. And this, I think, what kind of sucks. There's no other way to word that. Let's say, again, it's January 2027. You have 3,700 public watch hours. You're like, okay, I need 300 more to make the requirement, or the former requirement, that we can get in before this all happens, right? You want to get into the club before the rules of the club entry change, right? And I guarantee there's going to be a lot of creators who are on track to get 4,000 public watch hours. They're going to be right there. They're right on the cusp. They're about to hit it. And then boom, February happens. And now they have to get double the requirement of what they were initially shooting for. Okay, I get that YouTube's gotten a lot bigger, right? And don't get me wrong, YouTube has changed my life, genuinely changed my life. I've mentioned before in other videos, I became a full-time YouTuber 10 years ago. I feel very blessed. As most of you know too, I'm a DJ and electronic musician. So the fact that I can wake up, make music, make videos like I'm doing now, like this is me working, and I get to travel, I get to do awesome stuff. So I love YouTube. On the other end though, sometimes YouTube does stuff where I'm just like, I don't know why. And yes, YouTube's gotten a lot bigger. It is kind of crazy that I remember even 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 years ago, people talked about, is YouTube going to die off? Is YouTube going to have this life cycle where eventually it's going to just kind of fade away. You see this happen with a lot of social media platforms, although I don't consider YouTube social media, but you see this a lot in general. Does YouTube have a limit? Could YouTube go away at one point? But YouTube is continually getting bigger month to month. I think the tricky thing though is for them, and I guess, yes, there's a lot of people making YouTube channels now. I think in some ways it's easier to be a YouTuber than ever before because there's so much good information out there. But in other ways, I'll be honest, I think it's also harder because now there's so much competition. So I get that YouTube has a lot of flooding. They have a lot of databases they have to deal with and all this kind of stuff. Like I upload almost daily and I'm just one person, right? So imagine how much stuff YouTube has to deal with, right? Just information and algorithms and trying to give every creator a chance. So I get that they're dealing with a lot of stuff right now, but I think doubling the limits, I generally don't feel like that is the best approach right now because it really does turn off a lot of people. And then also too, in case you didn't know, you can sometimes still get ads on your videos if you're not in the YouTube Partner Program. And YouTube pretty much just kind of pockets that money. I think they've kind of slowly changed away from that, but it is kind of weird where it's like, okay, they're like, hey, we're actually just going to make it harder for you to join the YouTube Partner Program. We're going to make it harder for you to split the ad revenue with us, but we're still going to put ads on our videos. It's like, wait a minute, like something's just not adding up here. And I think, again, for any small creator now, I feel like a lot of creators who've been hustling to get these requirements now feel a huge fire under their butt. And in some ways, if I have to look both sides, just being objective, maybe that might push you to get that requirement quicker than you normally would. So maybe in some ways, to some creators, maybe we've been slacking, not judging them, but like maybe this will push them. But to be honest, I don't get the point of this. I think this is a very kind of abruptly, randomly, sudden, massive change that's going to affect a lot of creators, myself included. Again, I've never even really talked that much in depth about the shorts thing. I know I touched upon it a bit earlier because the 8,000 public watch hours is the big one. That's the big topic that everyone's been talking about. But now I wonder, like, okay, so when February 1st hits, unless I have crazy shorts that blow up, am I never going to make money from YouTube shorts ever again? I mean, that's actually very theoretically possible. And then it's like, all right, so is it worth it to upload them? I still think the answer is yes. I think there are a lot of benefits to YouTube Shorts. And I will say this too. I make maybe between $5 and $10 a month from YouTube Shorts. So it's not like it's hitting my income intensity. It's not like I'm like, oh, shoot, like I'm a Shorts person and now I'm like kind of screwed. No, it's kind of fine, but it's still annoying nonetheless. But these changes are they're making it a lot harder for creators. And I think that 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 public watch hours in the last 12 months, I'll be blunt, I do think that's a fair requirement. The former one, let me say it like that. The former requirement, I think was fair. YouTube wants to make sure you're making good quality content. They want to make sure you have a decent following. I think that quality checks aren't necessarily a bad thing. And it makes it a better ecosystem for everybody. I do think the former requirements, although there were a lot of people actually got frustrated by them. Because in case you don't know, back in the day, you could just upload any video on YouTube and instantly start making money. Kind of crazy to look back on it, that was like, you just upload a video and you could get 5 views and have 1 subscriber and you start making money. Then they put in this new policy, which I think, although it was controversial at first, I do think it maybe wasn't a bad thing. But doubling the requirement for the watch hours,